Hello guys, I'm Jaidenliedd and today
I'm out of jazz, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me in your child. And then won't lay today, make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who.
I'm Jaidenliedd and today we're going to be doing big sister advice coming from a senior in high school. In this video, I'm just going to be going over certain things as in starting high school basics, schools and grades, friends and social life, and then confidence and mental health. And I do have it all written down on my MacBook here, and that's what I'm going to be reading off. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. And before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can be like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you could be notified on the next time your girl posts. And let's get straight into this video. Okay, as I mentioned, I am a senior in high school and I am on my way out the door, so I'm going to be giving you guys advice that I would want to know if I was just heading into high school, basically. So starting off, we have starting high school basics. What I wish I knew before freshman year. Boom. Before freshman year, I feel like I wish I would have got myself a little bit more prepared for the high school life, because at the end of the day, you are coming straight out of 8th grade. So that mindset, like, you know, back in 8th grade, you play around, everybody's immature, oh my God, da da da. When you get, at least for me, as soon as you get to high school, it's like literally different. I'm not saying everybody's super duper mature, but like it's just weird, because if you're trying to act like your weird self, like your 8th grade immature self, everybody just looking at you crazy. And I had to learn that the extremely hard way. So if I can go back, I wish someone would have told me basically that I needed to like code switch. And yeah, it's hard because it's a process. At the end of the day, you're transitioning from middle school to high school. So it's a process, but I wish I would have caught on quicker instead of all the upperclassmen looking at me sideways like I'm stupid. Next topic is middle school versus high school, the real differences. The differences between middle school and high school are kind of big, but not too big. In middle school, as I stated before, that, you know, it's like a little bit more immature, it's funner. But in high school, it's a little bit more serious. And also, that also comes with like credits and like everything that rolls in that way. Because in my school, at least like every single time you're late and stuff like that, we get like seat time, which is basically detention time. We have to make up for being late. We have credit recovery for people whose grades are kind of slack, and you have to build that all up. In 8th grade, at least, like I said, I'm speaking from my 8th grade experience, you know, we didn't have any of that. You late, you know? Like teachers wasn't really, you know, they were caring for you, but like, and also they would really hold your hand with a lot of stuff. Like, you know, you're an 8th grader, you get in trouble, they give you slack and all that stuff. When you're in high school, teachers are not like really holding your hand. Like, you're gonna have those teachers who care about you, and that's always gonna be amazing because you always need like a little teacher in your corner. But besides that, no, they're not gonna be holding your hand for real. If anything, they don't really even care too much about you. They just trying to get their paycheck every Friday. So yeah, I would really just say the real differences is like high school is a little bit more harder than middle school, because you don't have somebody that's always holding your hand. You don't have too many chances to make up stuff, because as soon as push come to shove, you're kind of cooked. And then like it speeds by so quick. Like you think, okay, I'm a freshman, I got time to mess up, I got time to fix it, which is low-key true. But then you turn around and you a senior making a video giving advice. The next thing I'm covering is how to find your classes on the first day. Now, I don't know what school everybody that's watching this video go to, so I know everybody go to different schools, but at least on my first day, I was lost too. I was lost for like the first, like, I think I want to say the first week and a half. Like, cause you know, it's a new school, so you walking around, everybody. And also, don't be afraid to ask nobody for anything, like any type of class or anything. Don't get me wrong, it's always gonna be those upperclassmen or people that's like rude or mean and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's low-key like a stereotype. Like 9 times out of 10, that don't really for real be happening, at least not too often. Like, I feel like if you're so scared that everybody gonna be mean, you're never gonna experience a social life. Like when I walked in, it's the first upperclassman I seen, or the first person I seen that I knew wasn't a freshman, I was like, hey, do you know what class 111 is? Do you know what 104 is? Like, you just have to not be afraid to ask. And say they are an asshole, that's just a learning experience. You know not to speak to them again, but you shouldn't judge one experience off of everybody there, you know? It's always gonna be that one person or that couple people that's gonna help you out because they know you are a freshman. So at the end of the day, my advice for that is just don't be afraid to ask. Okay, next is school and grades. How to stay organized without burning out. Honestly, I feel like covering this is pretty important, because staying organized without burning out is also something that everybody needs to start learning how to balance. You could be organized and not organized me, like, you know, like when school started and everybody's trying to write neat and listen, that's not realistic because you're not going to stick to it. Stay organized as in just be on top of your classes. Now I know everybody tells you that, and it's you know, it's easier said than done, but like realistically, it's not really that hard if you think about it. Like, just make sure you're not failing. At least for me, I be having missing assignments. I was just doing all my missing assignments today. You have to just make sure at least you're on top. Even if you do have missing assignments, you're on top of that, as in you have missing assignments, to get it done. You don't wait till like the day before the market period ends, or like the semester ends, or the term ends, to try to turn in everything, because that burns you out. Like that's overwhelming. It's a lot of pressure. I feel like staying organized is just, having all your stuff at least with you, like, your book bag and stuff like that. And then just being on top of stuff. Even, like I said, even if that means like you haven't missing assignments and stuff like that, okay, you're on top of the missing assignments you have to do. You're on top of the ways that you have to do them, that you have to study them and all that stuff. To me, that's organized. And that's the honest way to do it. Because if I tell you, well, just stay on top of them, every time they post an assignment, do it. Every time they do this, do it. That just wouldn't be realistic. So honestly, that's my advice to you. Just stay on top of everything, as in missing work, which you have to do. So then when push comes to shove, you have to do that. Like even seat time, like I said from before, like when you have stuff like that, at least when I know I have seat time, I do it that exact same day. I get it out the way so I won't have to worry about it in the future. Okay, this is another one, and this says freshman year grades do matter, but not how you think. And also I'm going to touch on that because that's not it's kind of like a misconception. Everybody thinks by the time you get to junior year, like just junior and senior year grades count, but that's really just not true. Like freshman year grades honestly really do count, because it also shows your transition from 8th grade to high school. So they just want to see how that works out, especially with grades and attendance and everything of the sort. But on top of that, freshman year do count, because I wasn't really thinking freshman year counted too much until last year and this year when I got my transcripts, because I'm applying to colleges now. Your girl got into her top college, hope them. But when you get your transcripts and everything like that, you read the transcripts. Like when I read my transcripts, it said freshman year I got a D, and then sophomore year I got a D too. And I'm like, oh my God, it literally brings down your GPA, your cumulative GPA. You have a term GPA, which means this year I could be like I'm at a 4.0, but my cumulative GPA means my GPA out of all my 4 years added up. And that so far, not including senior year, is just a 3.0. A 3.0 or 3.5, which is really just not bad. I'm honestly just hitting that mark for being able to graduate and apply to colleges and stuff. It does really matter, because when push comes to shove and when colleges start rolling in, it's not even that they're staring at that grade. I don't even think they are. They're looking at your cumulative GPA, your GPA. And if your GPA says 2.5 or 2.3 or something like that, because you wasn't thinking freshman year that anything was going to matter, it's going to matter, because now you have to work your senior year or your junior or sophomore year to hurry up and try your best to just bring it up, which is also not wrong, because if you do fail your freshman year, you have 3 years to make it up. So it's not like, oh my gosh, so bad. But freshman year grades do matter, because they contribute to your cumulative GPA, which also helps you get into colleges, because some colleges won't let you even mess around and apply until you have a certain GPA. Like my top college that I applied to, you had to have a 3.0 GPA to a 3.5 GPA. No, if you were nursing, you have to do a 3.5, but you have to have a 3-point GPA to even be considered to get in. So, and I know somebody that applied to the college and they had a 2 point something, and they had to bring it up, and they're a senior. They had to sit here and rush and bring it up, which they did, and they ended up getting in, but they had to rush and bring it up and all that stuff, which you just shouldn't have to do. You're going to stress yourself out trying to rush and bring it up, when you should think by freshman year, you should have the mindset that all your grades are going to matter and all your grades do count. So that is a misconception that I'm here to clear up. Friends and social life. First one is making friends when you don't know anybody. Honestly, guys, 9 times out of 10, the people you talk to on your first, second, and third, fourth day of school, freshman year, is not going to be your friends long term. And I'm saying that, don't get me wrong, it works. Sometimes, you could be like, the girl I talked to the first day, we ended up best friends forever. Yeah, sometimes it works, but at least from what I hear and what I experience, most of the time it doesn't work. The girls that I talked to the first and second day of school, we're still cordial, but I end up being cool with different people. But honestly, at least my way of making friends, I'm a little more different than everybody, because you can have, some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. I would like to say I'm an extrovert when I feel comfortable being an extrovert. So if I feel like the experience, the environment is comfortable and all that stuff, then I'll make myself an extrovert and I'll start talking to everybody. And literally my whole goal freshman year, I literally walked up to people going, hey, we should be friends. Hey, oh my God, let's be friends now. I don't know, it kind of sounds corny, but honestly, it's true. That's what I did, and that ended up working, because 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't have the friends I do now. Now, don't get me wrong. That actually, let me backtrack, because the friends I have now, I wasn't really all too close with them freshman year. Only one of them I was really close with freshman year, and we are still friends now. And I was just talking to her earlier. But most of the ones I talk to, I can literally name them out. They know who they are. Not like that. We ain't fall out or nothing, but we never became too close. We kind of because during the year you kind of grow into seeing who your friends are, and everybody kind of goes into like their own friend groups and stuff, what actually happens. But I say don't be afraid to start the conversation. Like the person's awkward, you just write that off in your little note head, and you'd be like, you know what, that's just not my cup of tea. But people like have like one bad experience with like walking up to people and then just write everybody off. I don't think you should do that. I don't recommend it. It's not a good idea. Oh my god, another misconception. It says it's okay to outgrow middle school friends. It is, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen. The girls you were close with in middle school, especially if y'all don't end up going to the same high school, it's going to happen. Rare occasion, do end up still being friends with their middle school friends or still being cool, whatever. That's fine. But 9 times out of 10, you guys, especially, like I said, especially if you're going to different schools, are going to grow out of each other. Especially because middle school, like I said before in the beginning of this video, middle school, you're kind of immature, you're kind of playful, you're kind of this, that, the third. When you get to high school, you meet more mature people. You realize that you and your middle school friends kind of outgrow each other because you guys now grow mature in different environments, you know? And maybe you guys may not be each other's cup of tea anymore, and that's not always a bad thing. The girls I was so close with in middle school, we still talk here and there. Like, we also follow each other like on Instagram and stuff, but we all still follow each other and stuff like that. And like, you know, like each other's stories, and we like, you know, keep it like, you know, we just look out for each other, you know? As in, like, you know, we be like each other's story, we still support each other. But at the end of the day, once I got to high school, at least, we grew apart. Like, we grew apart. It went from beginning of high school, oh my god, talking all the time, to now rarely talking. Now you start talking to your new friends, now I just grow apart. And it's not even like one person grows apart, the other one's trying to stay close. Especially, y'all gonna grow apart, and that is okay. Because sometimes, like I said, middle school is kind of immature. Once you get into a mature state of mind, you might not want to make yourself or surround yourself with that person anymore because you guys kind of outgrew each other in your different maturities. But they don't know mature Jaden, they don't know new Jaden, they don't know high school Jaden, they don't know senior Jaden. They know 8th grade Jaden. And that's honestly okay. You just have to learn how to accept that it's okay and it's going to happen, depending on the type of person or the type of people you guys are. Friend drama. How to avoid it or handle it. Now listen, I would be lying to you if I said there was no way to avoid it. Honestly, there is a way to avoid it. It's just the type of person you are. At least me when I was a freshman. I still am the way I was when I was a freshman. It's just I became like a little, like I said, of course, more mature. So back then, I was like, you know, popping my stuff. You're not gonna listen. I was going. You know, I had a mouth on me, which I still do, so tread lightly. But I had a mouth on me. And I was a freshman, and my whole thing was, I'm not gonna let, mind you, it was another freshman. I'm not gonna let nobody try me, this, that, the third. Honestly, drama is so common. And you're probably going to end up, but there's no way you can go through your whole high school year without, unless you're like really just an introvert, you know, or you really just stay out the way. And like I said, I'm like a socialite, so I was like talking to everybody. I was bound to run into somebody who didn't like me or I didn't like them. Honestly, the way I really just can't tell you how to handle it. The way I did, I kind of just went through it, you know? You kind of just got to go through it. I feel like everybody goes through experiences. You learn what not to do, you learn what to do. Especially, okay, I'll give you this advice. If you know you're not a fighter or stuff like that, like me personally, for me to have the mouth I have and everybody be doing the stuff they do, I have never gotten into a fight before. Because honestly, if I'm being honest with you, everybody that I've gotten to it with really just haven't been on that. Or it just never escalated to a point where we would have to throw hands. So my whole thing is, especially for girls who are not fighters or probably don't know how to fight, which is fine. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're not willing to. I can say I never fight, which means me saying that I don't fight does not mean I won't fight. If it came down, push came to shove, I was getting in there. But don't put yourself in a situation, if you know like you're a crybaby, or like, not like that, but you know what I mean, like you're a crybaby. You don't, and you could be a crybaby and still know how to throw hands. I'm just saying, like, you know you don't fight, you know you're kind of scared of confrontation, especially if you're scared of confrontation. Don't put yourself in situations where you're going to be in confrontation. And like I said, maybe you'll be in confrontation without trying to put yourself in that situation. Try to find the easy exit out, okay? Drama it can be easy to avoid, but also it really just depends on the type of person you are. Because you're the type of person that pop your neck and stuff like that, you're going to end up probably in drama. If you're the type of person that also knows how to defend yourself, you're probably going to end up in drama. Like I said, the people that don't end up in drama is kind of the people that be kind of out of the way. But I'd say that's one of the high school experiences, like you end up in something. And that is okay. The next topic is popularity is overrated, and it 100% is. There's nobody in my school that we would even consider popular. Honestly, if you ask me, the term is cringy, because like, popular, come on, we all grown. Like, I'm not trying to say we all grown because, you know, we still in high school, but you know what I mean. We all mature, we're grown. What do you mean popular? She's not popular. It's kind of loserish. Depending on where you live at, honestly. If people really still walk around school with that term, do not take that term seriously. Honestly, because to me, I'm popular, but that's in my own mind, you know? I feel like everybody in my school, at least, like everybody's just so talkative. We all chill with each other, all that stuff. So it's like nobody's really more popular than the next. We all just cool. I think popularity is overrated and it's corny. Last topic, everyone is insecure. Yes, everybody is insecure. I am insecure. The person probably watching this video is insecure. It is nothing wrong with being insecure. Everybody's insecure. There's no way nobody's insecure. And I'm not saying like they have to be insecure about their whole body. Somebody can be like, well, I'm confident. There's something that you're never going to be fully satisfied with your body. Like you see like celebrities that they get BBL, they want more, they want more, they want to add more. They want to add more. They want to get lip filler, they want to add more. Like, you know, it's always going to be something that you don't like about yourself, and that is 100% okay. Everybody's insecure, so no matter how insecure you think you are, even if somebody trying to press you or try to bully you or something like that, that person's insecure too. If anything, they're more insecure than you because they're trying to pick on you for something that you have no control over. So honestly, I just want to let you know everybody's insecure. It is not just a you thing. It's not that you go through it more, but you're more insecure than the next person. There's no such thing. Everybody's insecure in their own way. And I feel like you'll either learn that, like, you know, you'll learn that the easy way, you know, or the hard way. Realistically, like I said, not everybody's going to admit to being insecure, but best believe they are. It's honestly probably the most insecure who won't want to admit it. Asking for help when school feels overwhelming. Honestly, school gets overwhelming so many times, especially when people tell you that you get senioritis and all this stuff, even freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. Honestly, if it gets overwhelming, don't be afraid to ask your parent for that little day off. It's okay. Now, a lot of people are in situations where they have parents that don't do the whole day off thing. That's a different situation. You can go to school, bring your headphones if you can use them, or just take that day to just chill back, not really talk too much. And sometimes it's hard because you'll say that, at least I'll say that, I get to school and I'm talking to everybody now because it's like I'm here. But you can just get to school, just stay to yourself, have a chill day, just kind of take a day to, like, you know, get back to it. Or you could just use the weekends as your day off. So honestly, especially if your parents don't allow you to, you can use the weekends as your day offs. Right after Friday, you go home, do your routine, you make sure your room is clean and stuff like that. You sit down, listen to music, take those 2 to 3 days, including Friday, to like actually sit down, prepare yourself back for Monday, breathe. That's when you could take time to probably do the assignments if you want to. And you could just have a whole mind reset and get yourself ready for Monday. So when Monday does come, you are ready, you're fully prepared to be social again, and you had your time to rest, just in case you don't have the parent that lets you off anytime you need a break. But if you do have a parent that lets you off anytime you need a break, that low-key applies to you too. So when you take the day off, just take the day off. Don't just take the day off to just be home, because you could do that when you get home from school. You could take the day off to just relax, listen to music. I always say catch up on assignments because like you have the time to, you know. And also, there's nothing wrong with that. Me, because I am a singer, I have rehearsals every Tuesday and Thursday, and then I have an outsider. I work with a vocal teacher outside of school too, and I have those rehearsals whenever we schedule them. And then on top of that, I go on trips like with my school. Like I'm always doing something, you know. I definitely need those days off too, all the time. Anytime, if I'm not after school rehearsal at rehearsal with my other teacher, I'm out with my friends. If I'm not with my friends, I'm out with my boyfriend. If I'm not with my boyfriend, like I'm always doing something. But honestly, you just need to find that time that you can actually reset your body, reset your mindset to go back to school and be, you know, just be okay and make sure you're good. Last but not least, being yourself without any apology. Me, I am 100% myself without an apology. Don't get me wrong. Some people watching like, well girl, people that know me, like, well girl, you can apologize. Listen, no. I said I'm authentically myself without an apology, which means I can never apologize for being myself. If I upset you with something I say, something I do, an action, this, that, the third, etc., I can always apologize for upsetting somebody because I can't tell you what you got upset about or how to feel about something. But don't apologize for being yourself. If you're yourself, don't let nobody like try to tone you down if you're too loud. Don't let nobody try to bring you all out if you're quiet. I'm just saying for the people who want to start talking, or people who are talkative and want to tone that down. I never think you should try to mute your personality or water it down. Never do that. But if you do, certainly do, like I said, you have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. I think you should do that accordingly, you know. Do it exactly the way you want to do. Don't let anybody ever tell you the type of person you should be, ever. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. Please make sure you like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can be notified on when your girl posts. And this was big sister advice coming from a senior in high school who's off to graduate soon. Love you, bye.
I'm private jets, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me and your child. And then won't lay today, make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who